Blessings, dear ones. This is Amara Amethyst, and I am here with a lunar tarot scope for all of us for the time period between the new moon in Scorpio on October 30th and the full moon in Taurus on November 14th, 2016. So thank you all so much for joining me. Again, this is a general reading for everyone who will see this video, and it is intended to bring us clear messages to support our growth and highest good at this time between the new moon in Scorpio October 30th and the full moon in Taurus on November 14th, 2016. However, if you're happening across this video outside of those dates, there's a reason for that. It's because you're supposed to see this for some reason. So there is something here for you no matter when you see this video. And again, my name is Amara Amethyst, and I'm here to empower you to live your soul purpose. One way that I do this is by offering these collective readings. I also offer holistic energy healing distantly and in person, and I also have a mobile goddess temple called the Nectar of the Goddess Temple that I share sacred teachings in and hold space for people at events. So if you're interested in finding out any more information about any of those things, or if you're interested in a personal reading, you can contact me directly at nectarofthegoddesstemple@gmail.com. And I will put that information as well as information about some of my upcoming events in the information below this video. I'll also be sharing Facebook Live videos every week in addition to these YouTube videos. And the Facebook Live videos will be just sharing my inspirations in the moment of different healing modalities, including sound healing with crystal bowls and singing, as well as just guidance that I'm receiving that it feels important to share with all of you. Okay, and you can find me on Facebook. I'm Sati Amara Amethyst on Facebook. Okay, so for some messages, I've been receiving some messages about this upcoming time period, and it is a continued period of intensity, just like, well, not just like it has been intense, and it's going to continue to be intense in a different way. So the intensity continues, the transformation continues, the opportunities for exponential amounts of growth and transformation continue. So it's a really exciting time. It's also a time of a lot of falling away, things falling away. I was going to say death, but a lot of people take that to mean something than what I mean when I say death. When I mean death, I mean just simply allowing for what is no longer serving us to die and fall away so that we can create ourselves anew in this present moment, so that we're not sticking with our old programming or old fears or old patterns of thought or behavior or action, so that we can continue to move forward into the lives in which we are creating for ourselves every moment. Some of the other messages that I have been receiving are the importance of love. So, of course, when we're talking about the importance of love, we need to recognize self-love being the way which we can show the most love throughout every day of our lives, is always choosing to love and honor ourselves in every moment. That feels good to me right now in this moment and always. Also, messages have been coming through to me to strengthen my personal practice, and I feel that this is a very important time for all of us to be maintaining and strengthening our personal practices, whatever those may be. Whatever it is that you do to ground yourself, to keep yourself physically healthy, to keep your mind and heart in alignment, whatever your practices are, make sure that you're keeping them up at this time. And if you haven't been following through with them, now is the time to reinvigorate yourself to your practice. Also, the importance of gratitude has been coming up so much. Gratitude is a very high vibration, it's a very high frequency, and it's a very similar frequency to love, which is also a very, very high frequency. So keeping ourselves in these vibrations of love and gratitude, in these higher vibrational states, and we can also support this by making sure we're getting enough rest, making sure that we're treating ourselves really well and eating really yummy, nutritious foods which bring us joy, making sure that we've got a physical activity that we're doing, that we're getting outside into nature. All of these things we can do to support ourselves through these times of intense transformation. Also coming up again for this time period, which also came up last time, is community support. And this goes both ways. Being an active member of whatever community you are a part of, by showing up for other people's events, by supporting those in your community in whatever way is appropriate and doable for you. And also in reaching out to your community when you feel the need for support. You can ask for it from the members of your community because they love you and will support you. Also, right now, this is a very important time to remain focused on your intention. Maintaining a level of focus on your intention allows you to also maintain momentum towards that through this time of change. Sometimes when things are changing a lot, it can be difficult to keep track of what our original intentions were. And so sometimes things kind of get lost in the shuffle. And it's really important right now to, and they're also bringing up the importance of knowing the difference between clinging to an old intention that's no longer serving you or being in alignment with your purpose and your intention. So there is a difference, and for some of us, maybe as we're going through these changes and transformations, perhaps our intention will also transform and change, and that's okay, but just keep in touch with what your intention is so that you can keep moving towards bringing that intention into reality. We're also deeply into the season, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, of fall, which is all about allowing that which did not come to fruition to die so that new seeds can be planted and that the plants that have borne fruit can have more energy and more attention focused on them. So this is a time of decay, of dying, of allowing things to transform. It's also a time of preparing to go within very deeply in the winter time. So whatever that means to you, a lot of it has to do with shedding and letting things go so that we can really focus on ourselves and what is in our best interest at this time. Okay, so repeated messages of love and surrender. So for this reading, I'll be using the 5th Tarot deck, which is a deck that was created by my teachers, Teresina and Martine Balkans. And it is a tarot deck that resonates with the frequency of the 5th dimensional earth. So it's a little bit different than the traditional tarot. It has 5 suits instead of 4 suits. And it's really awesome. I love it. I resonate with it really well. And I hope that you also enjoy it. You can find this deck and more information about it and the teachings of Martine and Teresina at the5thtarot.com. I'll also be pulling a card from Doreen Virtue's Goddess Guidance Oracle. Oh, the light is a little weird. There you go. Doreen Virtue's Goddess Guidance Oracle. And also potentially from the Angels of Atlantis Oracle, which is a sound healing deck created by Stuart Pearce. Okay. And in preparation for this, actually while I was just speaking at the beginning of the video, a card came out of the tarot deck already. So that's a message that is really wishing for us to address. Well, it's something that we can all know for additional support during this time period. So for these readings, I always clear the deck and call upon my team of guides, angels, ascended masters, ancestors, my lineage, elementals, inner earth beings, star beings, my subconscious inner child, my fully awakened adult, my higher self. That's what I consider to be my team. I believe that each of us has a team who are supporting us always. And so for these readings, since we're doing a collective reading, I also, if I have permission, I also call upon your teams. So you've heard what I consider the team to be. So if that is okay with you, you can energetically or verbally or however you want to give your consent to that. If you don't consent to that, that's fine. It won't call upon your team. We are all sovereign beings. Okay, so I call upon your subconscious inner children, your fully awakened adults, your higher selves, your guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, star beings, elementals, earth beings, inner earth beings, any and all beings who wish to support your highest good and the collective highest good at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us here and for joining us each and every single day. And whether or not I say that out loud during each video, it does happen each time I'm doing one of these readings, so just so that you know. All right. And we're asking for guidance which we can clearly understand and implement and integrate to support our alignment with our highest good that is also serving the collective highest good of all that is at this time. For the time period between the new moon in Scorpio on October 30th and the full moon in Taurus, I believe. Yep, Taurus, November 14th. Okay, so we've got a couple of tarot cards, and I'll pull also from the Goddess Guidance with the same intention. That one just came right out. Okay, and also an Angels of Atlantis Sound Healing Oracle card. Yeah, there it is. Okay, beautiful. Our first card is Death. It is a major arcana card, card number 13. And this card symbolizes us having the ability to go through these gates of transformation into a new version of life. And so in ancient Egypt, souls were carried down the river on these barges, these boats, and brought to the gateway through which they passed into the afterlife. And so death was not seen as the end in ancient Egypt. And it's never the end. Energy is continuous. We are continuous. And there's really a sense of a major transition point at this time of really allowing a version of ourselves to die and to really fully let go of that, as they believed that the soul was shedding the physical body in order to move forward into a new state of being, I'm really getting the impression of letting go almost to that extent, like being so ready to grow and be this amazing new version of yourself that you are willing to shed that which you have associated yourself with for such a long time. This is something that you have held as almost as much a part of you as you hold your physical body to be a part of you, if that makes sense. So it's something that you've probably become very attached to, and that you self-identify as whatever this is. Okay. So it's really important to prepare yourself for this transition. So that was also a really big part of their tradition, was to prepare the body for this transition. So take really excellent care of your body. You can have sacred objects near you that you feel a powerful connection to. And really release your fear of transformation and death and change, because it is time for a whole new chapter that is so powerful. I'm also being really drawn to the stars in this, and I recently had a friend ask me if I identify as a star person, which I do. I think another way of saying that is starseed. And so many people, many beings who are incarnated right now do resonate with being a star being, or with having origins in the stars. And as they say, we are all made of stardust. But I'm just getting really drawn to all of these images of stars. So there's a sense of deep connection with celestial wisdom. That could be star beings, that could be angelic wisdom, depending on what your belief system is. But there's this deep sense of safety and recognition, and it's like a joyful feeling at being reunited with beings who deeply love and know you, and who you deeply know and love, kind of like on the other side. So similarly to when beings actually physically die in this plane of existence and are reunited with their beloved ones on the other side, there's a similar sense to that here. So that once we're willing to let go enough to die and be reborn as our full selves, then we have the pleasure of being reunited with all of our soul family who has also taken this step and is waiting for us on the other side. That's a really beautiful thing. It's a really powerful thing. Okay, the next card we got is another major arcana card, the Emperor, card number 4. So the Emperor energy is the divine masculine, holding space, leading the way, creating and maintaining safe space for life to flourish, for the full expression of life. So you see he's holding space for children and plants to grow. There also is a planet and stars, and he's very strongly rooted. He has roots coming out of his feet, or he's standing in front of a tree, so I get the sense of like the tree of life, and also of just being really grounded and holding a lot of space and information like trees do. And trees have a very powerful vibration. They entrain beings who are in their presence into their vibration. And so does the Emperor. The Emperor also has a very strong grounded energy that radiates outward from him and brings all others in his presence into his vibration, because it is powerful. It is emitted strongly. So this is inviting us all to embrace our divine masculine, our leadership skills, our power to take action, take rooted, strong action to support all life, and to do so with confidence, and to really send out our intentions and hold that space for ourselves and for others, because then others will join us at that frequency. This card can sometimes also indicate a person who has those qualities entering into or playing a significant part in your life. Yes, and you can also see the sun, the light of the sun in this image. And the sun is the light which allows for all life on this planet to survive. It is also our closest star, which sends us a lot of energy, a lot of information in the form of light energy. There might be something more to that, but I'll come back to it. Okay. And the other tarot card which we received, which came out before the rest of the cards, is another major arcana card, the Fool. So this card depicts a being who is blissfully and innocently. So there's a difference between innocence and ignorance. And the Fool is not ignorant. The Fool is innocent. So the Fool chooses to see the world through new eyes, fresh eyes, to go through life without attachment or expectation, but to take each moment as a new experience and a new moment. So this is reminding us to do the same thing. You can also see there are two pathways in this image. One of them is the earthly path that stretches off into the background on the ground, and the other is the rainbow bridge path. So I interpret this card a lot of times as our two paths coming together. And to me, it looks like this being is blissfully traveling his soul path, the rainbow path, which is just now aligning with the earth path, or our life, the way we walk through this world. So this is asking you, where are your paths? Well, so usually I see this as coming together, but you could also view it as the two paths separating, and which one are you going to take? So a question here is, do you feel like your soul mission and your earth walk are in alignment? If not, you can invite the energy that we spoke about earlier of the Fool, of innocence, and a release of expectations in order to really bring those two together. Another question to ask yourself is, where do these two things separate from each other? Because it's okay, they don't have to be fully aligned the entire time. But if they're not in alignment at all, that can cause a lot of uncomfortableness in your life. If your soul is really calling out to you to be doing something in particular, but you are instead choosing to put all of your energy into something different, then you may feel depressed, you may feel listless, you may be wondering, what's life about? Why am I even here? I'm not making a difference. You may feel very poorly. And so this is asking you to take a look at that, okay? And to step forward joyfully. There are also butterflies in this image, and that they are representative of transformation as well. So, wow, we had 3 major arcana cards in this reading, which is really confirming for me how intense of a transformational time this is for all of us. I have been working with a couple of people who took me up on my offer from the last reading of offering half-price readings and healing sessions. And from my perspective, it seems that things are going pretty well with that, because this is such a huge time of transformation and change. And this continues to be a time of deep transformation and change. So I do encourage you, if you are feeling this, if this is something that's really present for you, to contact me if you'd like some additional support moving through these transitions in life, because I'm here. I offer energy and sound healing in addition to intuitive guidance and spiritually based guidance. I'm an ordained interfaith minister as well as a priestess, so I offer a whole lot of different things. And I'd love to support you and empower you to live your soul purpose. That's why I'm here on this planet. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you feel the need for support at any time. Okay, so moving on to the Goddess Guidance card, we received guidance from the goddess Diana, focused intention, which I'm pretty sure I said almost those exact words earlier. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. Diana is a goddess of the hunt, and she's a very powerful goddess as well. She is an archer, a warrior goddess, and she does battle more so with her intelligence and her mind than she does actually physical combat. And with being an archer too, she really has this sense of focus and keeping your eye on the prize, really knowing what it is that you are intending and focusing your energy on that intention so that you can make your mark, as they say in archery, so that you can follow through directly to that intention. And the way that we are able to bring our focused intentions into fruition or manifestation is through practice. In archery, well, I guess some people are just really naturally talented and perhaps can just immediately hit the mark, but for most people, it takes practice and just keep working, just keep your eye on the same prize and keep practicing, keep going for it, keep trying. If it doesn't seem to be working out, you can ask for guidance on your shooting technique or whatever, but keep going and keep focusing on your intention. Your will and your personal power. She's wearing purple and pink in this, which is like up here, crown chakra, purple. And so if you can open up to receive the guidance. We are all divine beings. Our bodies are physical vessels for the divine to express in this world. And so however that divine inspiration is coming through you, whatever your intention is, you can pull that down into your solar plexus and then focus from there. The solar plexus is the seat of your power and your will, and you can just take that, and that's where you aim from, and just keep moving forward. Okay, let's check out the Angels of Atlantis card. Jophiel, Archangel Jophiel, meditation. So in this deck, the angels are depicted as orbs, and Jophiel is this is the yellow orb. Jophiel supports the arts, beauty, and this card is calling us to stillness and meditation. When we're in these times of transition, or times that feel tumultuous, and there's a lot of shifting and changing going on, these times are especially important for us to either maintain or introduce ourselves to a meditation practice, a practice of quieting our minds, our monkey minds, which are running around, jumping all over the place, stilling our mind, quieting our mind, and allowing for our minds to sync up with our hearts. Once we have these in alignment, then we truly can be the vessels for divine energy. And then our paths truly align. I'm fairly certain that there's not a sound component to this card. I think it's a silent meditation card, but I'll double check just in case. So this says, at dawn and at sunset, practice meditation. Breathe deeply. Listen intently through a relaxed state to the divine Om. And then be still to hear the music of the angelic kingdoms. This will bring your own oracular messages. Please be aware of your solitude, stillness, and silence. I'm noticing as well that there's a lot of yellow in both of these cards. So again, that brings me back to the solar plexus chakra, which is in our, just above the belly button, above the navel, and the color of that chakra is yellow. So this is a great time to empower our solar plexus chakra. So you can do chakra meditations, you can chant. These sound, well, I'm sure there are several sounds that you can do for each chakra, but a sound of the solar plexus chakra is Ram. So you can empower your solar plexus and balance it out as well by focusing your awareness on your solar plexus, which is right at the spine and just above the navel in the center of your being. And you can visualize the color yellow, an orb of yellow light, a wheel of yellow light. That is your solar plexus chakra. And you can also, if you're doing mudras, this mudra of the tip of the pointer finger touching the tip of the thumb, that channels energy into the root, the sacral and the solar plexus chakras. Okay, so you can also do this mudra if you'd like. And I'm just placing that on my lap and focusing my awareness on my solar plexus with a yellow wheel of light. And I will chant Ram 3 times, R-A-M. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I've got a couple of upcoming events in Arkansas. On Friday, November 4th, from 7 to 8:30 p.m., I'll be offering a crystal singing bowl sound healing at the Unity Church in Little Rock. On Saturday, November 5th, from 12 to 4 p.m., I will be offering an introductory sacred sexuality workshop called The Alchemy of Eros. And I hope that you can join me for one of those or both of those if you're in Central Arkansas. And otherwise, just keep tuned for some more online offerings. Okay. And again, feel free to contact me at any time for energetic support, intuitive guidance, spiritual guidance. So much love, many blessings.